If you're in the UK and you're using Mounjaro for weight loss, or you're thinking about starting, you really need to hear this. On the 1st of September, prices for Mounjaro are skyrocketing, going up by 170% for the highest dose. In this video, I'm going to break down why it's happening, who's affected, and what plans we can make to control our future going forward. So, if you're interested, let's stick around and get into it. Hi guys, if you don't know me, I'm Joanna and I've been on a weight loss journey with Mounjaro since May 2024, losing a grand total of 135 pounds. Currently on a split dose of Mounjaro, 7.5 milligrams. I take 5 milligrams on a Friday and 2.5 milligrams on a Monday. So if you are new here, welcome to the community. If you are not new, welcome back. Very happy to have you here. Hopefully in this video, I'll give you guys a little bit more information about the upcoming changes to the Mounjaro pricing. I know a lot of people must be very, very concerned about it. So I wanted to do a quick video just to break down everything I know and kind of what I'm planning to do going forward to prepare for this change and help me through it. Alright, so before we get into it, I would really love it if you guys could do me a favour and in the comments, just comment about who your provider is and what steps they've taken to help you with that. I would love to hear about what everybody's experiences have been going through this, and I think it would help out the general wider community. So if you can take 2 seconds to do that, it would be really, really useful. Alright, so let's start off with what the price increases are going to be, or what we've heard so far. So the breakdown is the highest dose, 15 milligrams, is going to be increasing, and now this is the list price. So this is the price Eli Lilly, the creator of Mounjaro, is selling to your pharmacy. Your pharmacy will then sell it on to you for an even higher price. So this is just the wholesale price. That's moving from £122 a month to £330 a month. A 170% price hike. So they are going for the biggest increase on the people who are already on the highest dose. Probably the people that need the most support. I'll not say any more on that. I'll let everybody make their own conclusions from it. Okay, so that's for 15 milligrams. We know that for 5 milligrams, that's going to be moving from £92 to £180, so almost over a 100% increase there. So for every single dose, there will be increases. Now, overall, they're saying that UK list prices will move from £133 to £333 per pen across the board. So you could get it for less because pharmacies are negotiating discounts directly with Eli Lilly, but this is yet to be determined. All we know at the moment is everybody is going to see major price increases. So that's the pricing. Alright, so let's talk about why this is happening, or why Eli Lilly say this is happening. Now bear in mind, Eli Lilly is an American company. They have already got a lot of pressure coming from the American government with their unfair pricing towards American consumers, which is absolutely true, but that's more a part of the American healthcare system, which I won't go too much into it, but this is the company we're dealing with, okay? So they are saying that when Mounjaro first launched in the UK, Eli Lilly set the price lower to allow faster access into the NHS. Now, because obviously we get the NHS not for free, we pay for it through our national insurance, but we have it accessible and affordable, but obviously the NHS pays somebody. We're starting to see that with Eli Lilly now. They wanted access to the NHS because that is a database of millions and millions of people, not individual pharmacies. This is the entire United Kingdom we're talking about. Now, they're saying that because they are now in the UK, because we're all on it now, they are going to align with other European countries and their costings. So I've just got my little notes down here, I couldn't remember everything. They are saying that because of more clinical evidence of Mounjaro's benefits, so for those of you that don't know, Mounjaro has a lot of other benefits not only linked to weight loss. There have been trials that show it has cardiovascular positive effects. There's been tests on kidneys to show that it has positive effects. There's also early stage tests for its effects on dementia and Alzheimer's. These are very early stage. I'm not a healthcare professional, but if you want to go and find the studies, they are out there. So they're saying because of all these other benefits, that's another reason to put up the price. They have a desire for consistent global pricing. So my question then would be, does that mean we are headed the same way as the United States, where it's $1,200 a month for one of these injections, one of these medications? Who knows? But I mean, We have to assume that if we want consistent global pricing, because I highly doubt Mounjaro are going to bring down their prices elsewhere. And then they are citing ongoing supply and demand pressure. Now, supply and demand has been a problem in the United States and was for a while, however, has now eased off. And in fact, Eli Lilly have said that there is no supply and demand problem there. And for me, I have never had a problem getting my pen in the UK. So, not that I'm saying anybody's telling lies, but, you know, I've not seen it. I've not known anybody who's had a problem with it. But anyway, that's what they're saying. So these are the reasons that what Eli Lilly are citing for the increase. Okay, so let's talk about who's affected. NHS patients will not be affected at all, so that's a good thing. Those that have this medication for diabetes or are the very most in need, those of us who have very high BMIs and have lots of comorbidities will not be impacted by this because NHS pricing is not changing. However, every single private consumer will be impacted by this. Every single person who is on Mounjaro at any dose or was thinking about starting it will be impacted. So when we talk about who is affected, all of us. So what can you do about it? What alternatives are there? So I've done a bit of research and I've found a couple of alternatives, well, one alternative solution. There are older GLP-1 medications, however the one I'm going to talk about today is the one most closely aligned with Mounjaro. Now, if you haven't seen my What is a GLP-1 video, I'll link it up here somewhere. In that video, I explain exactly what Mounjaro is, how it is different from Ozempic or Wegovy, and what hormones it works in your body. But the main difference is Ozempic, which is the OG GLP-1, I'm sure we all heard about it, all the celebrities in the States were on it years ago. That is the original GLP-1 weight loss injection. Now the difference between Ozempic or Wegovy and Mounjaro or Zepbound is that Ozempic/Wegovy works on one hormone in your body. It works on GLP-1. Okay, that is the main hormone. Mounjaro or Zepbound, Mounjaro or Zepbound works on two hormones. That works on GLP-1 and GIP. Now, Mounjaro is the second generation weight loss injection and it has a higher effectiveness than Ozempic. However, both medications are very, very effective in terms of helping you to lose weight. So, when we talk about alternatives, Ozempic or Wegovy is absolutely an alternative for people who maybe can't afford a 170% price hike at a time when everything else is becoming more expensive. So I've looked up some of the costs with Ozempic, and it seems to be the price ranges between £130 and £200 a month. So very, very similar to the price of Mounjaro at the moment. So if Mounjaro rockets up and it really becomes unaffordable for you and you don't feel like you can come off it or drop down your dose, Ozempic or Wegovy are absolutely an option for you. Now the transition period over to Ozempic I know can be quite different from pharmacy to pharmacy. People at different pharmacies advise different things. However, for the most part, what I think needs to happen is you need to come off Mounjaro for a certain amount of time, let the hormone come out of your body, and then you will restart Ozempic, possibly at a lower dose, and start to build up from there. Now, Ozempic does have a different side effect profile. The side effects can be a little bit worse than on Mounjaro. However, people have great success with Ozempic. People have lost a lot of weight, and it is the original GLP-1 medication for weight loss. So if you can't afford it and you are worrying about it, please know there is alternatives out there. Just go and start exploring them now. Have a backup plan. I think that with losing all this weight, if it's taught me anything, it's taught me that having peace of mind is the main thing. Don't stress yourself out about it. If you have a plan, that is going to take you so far forward and feeling like you're in control of the situation. What can you do now? So, here's my things that I'm doing now. So first of all, check your dose, right? Can you stay at a lower dose for longer? So that's something that I've been talking about on this channel for a long time. Do you really need to move up? Just because the provider says we need to move up every 4 weeks does not mean that we need to. We dictate our dosing schedule, not a supplier who has you as, you know, a random number. You're an individual person, you dictate your dosing schedule. If you can do that, then that is obviously going to keep the costs a little bit lower. So talk to your providers. I have already put in my order for my next pen to make sure that I get it at the lower dose. A lot of providers are already reaching out to their customers, advising them to get their orders in ahead of the 1st of September deadline, so that you can secure at least your next pen while the prices are a little bit lower, which is going to give you a little bit more time to figure out what your next steps are. Like I just spoke about, consider switching. Is Wegovy or Ozempic an option for you if the price becomes unaffordable on Mounjaro? That's definitely something to look at. And then if you are on a budget, just start planning ahead. If you do need to come off it or you need to taper down, make a plan for yourself and what that looks like. If you plan, you're going to be in a much better position to handle this and to deal with it, rather than just being cut off and left to go cold turkey. So those are the steps I'm taking at the moment, just in case the worst happens. And that's it. That's everything I have for you on this at the moment. I will try to keep you guys updated with anything else I find out. I think it's really important in this community that we do share all of this type of information. It affects so many people, and I know that a lot of people will be worried about it, but hopefully in this video I've given you guys at least a couple of things to think about. We're all in this sort of together. I'm also feeling it was a bit of a shock for me as well, and the scariest thing for me is that I would put this weight back on, but I'm hoping that with the healthy habits I've developed over the last sort of year and a half, even if the worst was to happen, I would be able to sustain it. But I've got my backup plan. I would taper down on the doses, consider switching to Ozempic. And yeah, if you guys have enjoyed the video, give us a like, and if you want to join the community, feel free to join. It's not always this heavy, I promise. I do try to share positivity and light. But yeah, sorry I couldn't be happier this week, guys, but I hope it was helpful.